Hey, what's going on everyone? I'm the OPJellicent and we're back here on Pokemon Showdown. Got a squad right here with a Choice Specs Zapdos that we're going to be hitting up the ladder with. I like its ability to go ahead and take care of Toxapex. A lot of people actually like to stay in on Zapdos sometimes to get up T-Specs expecting a more bulky set which can't really do much with Discharge, but Specs Thunderbolt right here does a lot of work. We have Heat Wave to be able to pressure Pokemon like Ferrothorn for Keldeo right here. The water spam is definitely a very big part of this team. Hidden Power Ice right here is for Garchomp and Landorus T. Static because broken ability, we have to run it anyway. Max special attack, max speed Timid right here, of course. Pairing it with a Keldeo because, like I said, Zapdos can pressure Toxapex and Ferrothorn, which makes our water type attacks a lot more spammable. We have a Defog Mega Scizor right here. It's not actually our Swords Dance Sweeper right here. We have a Defog set, which is just bulky, can go ahead and defog rocks that Landorus T may want to go ahead and put up, because Zapdos obviously needs hazard control for the team. Shift Gear Fairium Z Magearna right here. Broken Sweeper basically can win at preview with this coverage if you can hit a couple Focus Blasts. Defensive Landorus T right here. I'm trying out Leftovers for the first time, I think, but I definitely think I might switch it to Rocky Helmet in some scenarios. And then finally, a Spadef Leftovers SD Bulu right here, which is our best water resist alongside Keldeo. So that's going to be the squad. It'll be down below in the description in case you guys do want to try it out. And let's go ahead and get right into the games. Alright, I got a game right here, and right away we got some hyper offense. I think they know they can't let me get up rocks. They'll probably lead off with a drill initially. Heat Wave is very spammable here, actually. Another option for their lead could be Rabombi, just to get up webs and maybe stun spore something. I'll lead Zapdos here because I don't want anything getting stun spored. And what I think I want to do right here is just go right for a Heat Wave, as webs do go ahead and go on the field, which is totally cool. They may go for a Moonblast here. I'm going to go here into my... I don't see Scizor doing much, so I'm going to go Scizor here and just Bullet Punch this in case it has Hidden Power Fire, because I want to keep Zapdos as healthy as possible for the pincer, if that does end up being valuable. So Dragonite comes out right away. I'm honestly okay with this. I can just go ahead and U-turn out here into my Landorus, and I'm just going to U-turn again as they go for Ice Punch, and it just knocked me out. Wow. I mean, on the bright side, what I can do here is go Zapdos now and just click Hidden Power Ice. I already broke their multi-skill, so this is going to knock it out, so... I mean, we get rid of the biggest threat to our team right here, which is really cool. And I don't see any Heat Wave switch-ins anymore, so Bisharp can come in here and probably go for SD, if that's what it wants to do. I'll probably respond with hard Keldeo is what I'm thinking. I mean, that drill is going to be a problem, but Choice Specs Zapdos picking up that kill right there is so huge. I have to stay in here. There's no way I can let this SD up for no reason, so I don't mind taking a bit of damage there. I still think I'm out of range of that pincer, so I might be fine. Here I'm going to go Scizor on the Shadow Sneak, which is fine, and just defog these webs away. I mean, they can't knock me out unless they crit the Z move right here, which is really good. So they decide to go out here into Excadrill. I'll just U-turn out on Drill here as the rocks go up. Not the biggest deal, in all honesty. I can just go Keld here and probably click. I mean, Surf's a good play, for sure. So let's just go ahead and knock that out. I guess probably Pinsir would come in next, right? Mimikyu actually comes in, okay. So I don't think I need Zapdos at this point in the game. Let's just go ahead and throw that out. I think here I can get in my Magearna. Probably go ahead and maybe just shift gear up as they go through the Shadow Cloud. It's not able to do too much damage. I'll go right here for Twinkle Tackle. It should be able to OHKO this Pokemon. Nice. And I think Magearna can go ahead and perhaps wrap this game up for us. I don't know yet. Bisharp comes in. I mean, I can just Flare Cannon this and knock it out. And then as long as I hit the Flare Cannon into Pinsir, I'll be fine. So yeah, my opponent's going to go ahead and forfeit right there. Zapdos got a pretty early kill right there. I don't know why they let their Dragonite go down so early. I definitely think how they just preserved it. I probably didn't beat it at all, but I'll take it and I'll be right back with another game. Alright, I got the next game right here. This one looks pretty hard just because Tapu Lele is on my opponent's team right here, as well as Magearna. Both those Pokemon kind of just beat my entire team down, so... I think my priority right here should be weakening their Magearna and then maybe going for a game with mine. But I don't know if they're actually going to let me do that. That's the thing. I'm going to lead Zapdos here again in case they lead Landorus T and it's not Sash. I can go for Hidden Power Ice and just knock it out. It is Sash. Okay, so good to know right there. They decided to go for a Rock Tomb that turn. I'm assuming that means they probably have the rocks coming up here. So I'm going to get out into this thing. Defog this turn. As they just explode for 25. Okay, so they didn't want me defogging clearly. Scizor being weakened is not the worst. Tapu Lele comes in, okay. Probably clicking Psychic if I had to guess. I can beat the Kartana even if I let this go down, so I'm going to attempt a defog here. They go for Hidden Power Fire, which is not the end of the world, as I said. I can still beat Kartana with this team. Now, this is probably specs based on what they just did, so I'm going to go for my rocks here. As Kartana comes in on a hard switch, that's fine. I'll just go right here for the U-turn on the Swords Dance. Okay, so is this Steelium Z? What sort of Z do you have is the question. I'll get a Magearna here and just go right for my Fairium. I think I just lost to this thing. Actually, I have Keldeo, I guess. Maybe Keldeo can beat it. Secret Sword does 77. I'm just going to go for Secret Sword here. I could see them switching it out, in all honesty. Yeah, hard Lele is definitely a good decision there, but I gotta keep Keldeo just for this. I'll sack my Zap here as Kartana comes back in on a hard switch. Here I can just Thunderbolt. They actually risk the static para. Unfortunately, I do not paralyze it. I'll go here into this and maybe... So Keldeo can win this game on its own, that's the thing. I'll go for Surf this time as it's able to go ahead and knock out the cart. Nice. This is still doable, I think. I don't think I've lost yet. I think because I got damage on the Lele, which is going to be very valuable, I might be fine anyway. It depends. It's going to depend on how much Bulu takes from a Psyshock and all that. This comes in. I just stay in on this, I think. They're getting up spikes. I don't think that's going to help them. Maybe their Bulu. Maybe their Gyarados can win, perhaps. Are they misplaying right here? I think they might actually be messing up a little bit. So they should definitely leave this in here. I like how they have the little face in their username. That's pretty funny. But we managed to even out the differential here. I'm curious as to what they're trying to do, because if Magearna comes out, I can't let it shift gear. I have to stay in, and then hope that Surf can 2-hit KO it, perhaps, is my play. Because I will outspeed a Magearna after 1 shift gear. I don't know about 2. That's going to be a little bit different. If Lele comes out, what am I doing in that scenario? So Bulu might be able to 1v1 the Gren and the Gyarados. I mean, the Gren's about to go down. Maybe I should have locked into Hydro Pump and just hope I hit enough. That would be kind of bad, though. Had I locked into Hydro Pump, though, I would have 2-hit KO'd this here. And the Magearna definitely would have gotten 2-hit KO'd. I think that was the play, because Lele would have gone down to a Hydro Pump as well. From 60. I think I messed up by not clicking Hydro. So they give me the Gren. Lele comes out. Yeah, had I clicked Hydro, this would be in range, but now it's not. Due to a few faulty decisions on my end here. So I think what I have to do is go Lander, sack that, and get in Bulu. They go for Psychic. That is actually a Scarf set, okay. So they can knock me out here. I guess in theory I should U-turn in case they decide to switch out, as that is not something they're interested in. Okay, I'll get this thing in here. I think I have to SD up on either Hard Magearna or Gyarados. I don't think he would stay in. That is a Scarf Psychic right there, so unless they Spadaf drop me, I can take it, and then Horn Leech my health back. Man, I might actually be fine here, which is crazy. Best case is they switch out and I get my SD up. And like they're not Flash Cannon Magearna for no reason. That would be like amazing, but I think they will be. I'm going to protect on the Magearna first in case it goes for that Z move. And then Horn Leech it down. Because the thing is, even if I don't... Okay, so they actually decide to stay in. Not a big deal. Like I said, I can just protect this turn. I think switching out would be a choke on their part here. Because like this thing dies to Keldeo anyway now. Gonna be close. Good game though. I'm glad we managed to bring it back after nearly getting bodied by that Kartana. That was pretty cool. I think had I surfed initially, I might have been fine. So they're trying to predict what I'm going to do here. Whether they want to stay in or not. I'm clicking Protect. I need as much recovery as I can out of this thing. Actually, wait a minute. They don't knock me out. I Horn Leech all my health back and I'm healthy anyway. I'm not predicting Protect here and letting the switch out as a choke, I think. So I'm going to Horn Leech. Yeah, so like I'm still at a good amount of health in this scenario. I could have protected and been at a higher amount of health, I know, but that's okay. Because whatever comes out now, I can protect on too. So Shift Gear Magearna could be a win condition for them here. It's going to be Mega Gyarados, but if they bring out Gyarados, I don't think they would Mega Evolve it against my Keld. Now if they're fast and go for like Ice Fang and flinch me, they definitely win, but I think Tapu Bulu should be able to take an Ice Fang otherwise. So I'm glad I concealed Protect. That's definitely going to be a little bit valuable here. If Magearna comes in, I don't know what to do. Am I going to Protect or am I just going to attack it and hope it sets up? Let's calc... Okay, so what came in? Magearna comes in. I gotta make a decision here. Am I going for Protect and hoping they just attack me this turn? Or am I Horn Leeching this turn? I'm gonna Protect here. They go for Trick Room. Never mind, I just messed up. That's a game. Yeah, I just lost. I can Horn Leech here, that just knocks me out. I guess maybe if they miss a few attacks here, I can win, but they should just knock me out with a couple Flash Cannons to guarantee. Yeah, it looks like I don't have a way of winning this. I'm not going to go ahead and waste time right here. I'm going to go ahead and forfeit and just move on to the next game right here. So I'll drop a GG, and I'll be right back with another game. Alright, I got another game right here. I just found Stall, and I clicked Exit Preview because playing Stall is really not worth the time when I can have fun playing 3 other games in the meantime right here. So let's get this one. This one looks like it can be a lot better right here. Zapdos can do a lot of work too. It has Heat Wave for the Bulu. I just got to go ahead and get my calls right. Hoopa Unbound is a really big threat against me right here, especially if it is Choice Band. I think the win I'm going to go for is Magearna, and in order to do that, I need to be able to weaken Heatran into range of Thunderbolt, ideally. I'm going to lead here with my Zapdos. Greninja decides to lead. This is a Protean Greninja, okay. So, against Protean Greninja, I don't really take it on. I'm just going to Thunderbolt. I think I live in... Let me Calc Ice Beam before I get careless here. Because I'm an offensive Zapdos, I'm not the bulky set, so... Against... OU specially based Protean, Ice Beam would not knock me out, it looks like. And actually my player is Heat Wave because if they spike I want to be able to hit them for damage. So let's click Heat Wave here and go ahead and weaken this thing. This next turn I'm going to go Keldeo on said Ice Beam as they actually decide to go Heatran. So I look like a lord getting that right, but I guess in all fairness they do have the Keldeo in the back. I think Landorus is an okay mid-ground here, so I'm going to do this. As Torn is their mid-ground, okay. So we both made mid-grounds there. Could be Flinium here. Do I honestly care? Just keeping Zapdos healthy is actually really valuable. I'm going to attempt Rocks. As they decide to go right for the... They're going to obviously Defog here. I'm going to get in Zapdos this turn, and... So I'm thinking firing off a Thunderbolt here makes a lot of sense. Maybe they'll give me damage on that Heatran, which would be amazing for Magearna's Thunderbolt. They should know I'm Specs based on that Heat Wave damage from Gran. They do go out Heatran though and not out into the Bulu. And yeah, look at that damage. That's beautiful. I'm clicking it again right here just to weaken it. I actually got a crit. That's pretty bad. But it was in range of my Magearna at that point anyway, which is what I was trying to stress. Hoopa Unbound comes in here. This thing is a monster. I think Landorus is very expendable here, so I'm going to bring this out on Hyperspace and just let it 2-hit KO me here. He should be faster, but he's apparently very slow. Not quite sure what to think about that. This could be the moment where I just go Magearna and try to make it happen. I think Scizor and perhaps U-turn here is just smarter. Because if he stays in, then like look at Zapdos and look at the rest. So I think that's a lot better right here. In this scenario, I can just go Zapdos again and click Heat Wave. Nothing really appreciates my hits. I guess I can click Thunder. I'm going to click Heat Wave here. Well, it doesn't divide in Hoopa after again. I feel like as though that's not the end of the world. They decide to go Torn, interestingly. I guess they want to Defog. A little bit surprised. But they don't Defog. Okay, then. Hoopa Unbound. I missed 2 Heat Waves in a row. That's funny. But I guess I did crit the Heatran. That's definitely worse for me, though. Like, I don't think that definitely... I think that was definitely worse on my end. Here, I'll just go for Horn Leech in case they try to make any sort of double. Because I have a safe switch into this with my Zapdos, and... every time this comes out, I get to click whatever attack I want, so... They actually don't even Roost this either. I'm really confused about what they're trying to do. I don't know why I've not been Volt Switching. Like, what am I doing here? I should definitely be Volt Switching out. But I can go Pubulu this turn on the next Hyperspace. Click Horn Leech here again. There's no point in predicting Scizor. Because every time it comes in, I get this in and just click Thunderbolt. They suck off the Gran, okay. So Zapdos is doing a lot of work here. It's gotten both kills so far. It's weakened this thing. This is paralyzed and it's gonna get outsped. Yeah, that's gonna go down. That crit did not matter. That's a Specs Zapdos right there. And we're able to go ahead and win that game right there, which is definitely very cool. A little bit interesting based on my opponent's decisions, but I guess I'll take the win and I'll be right back with another game. Alright, I got another game right here. I got game sniped by that stall player. It was very clear because I clicked search and I instantly got that person. So I'm gonna go ahead and be more careful in between games. I'm gonna wait a bit and see whether I can avoid that matchup again. I just clicked X again. Like I said, stall's not worth it, but let's go ahead and lead off here. So their lead is gonna be Pelipper, so I'll lead Zap. Garchomp is not it could be Rock Z-Chomp. I'm gonna get in Scizor on potentially Rockium. The thing is, if they go for rocks and I Hidden Power Ice, I OHKO this thing. I think it's worth it, because look at Garchomp and look at my team. It's such a problem. I don't know what its coverage is. You could have Poison Jab here. My other play is going Landers, but rocks are such bad. I'm gonna go Landers. I really can't risk this. Yeah, they go ahead and go Coco here. So Specs HB Ice could knock me out. I don't have it. I mean, I guess I can go Bulu. As much as I know a U-turn is coming, I don't think they would risk... Would they risk Scarf here? I don't think they would. I'm gonna try to get up my rocks. I think I need this momentum. If anything, they'll go Pelipper here, is what I'm thinking. Or Scizor. You have like so many great responses with Scizor, Pelipper, and Lando. I think attempting an HB Ice here would be kind of silly on their part. Zapdos still does a lot of work here. I just gotta predict with it, right? Like, I gotta expect a Lando or Garchomp. If Ferrothorn comes out, I gotta catch that with the Heat Wave. If they really want to, they can go back to that Garchomp now and just click Rocks of their own and start to pressure my team too. Which honestly, that could be better for them than it would for me, so that could be a little bit tough here. Let's see though. Let's not get... Wow, they actually just stayed in and erased it. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and alter my decisions now. Magearna can still win on its own, which is really cool. I'm going to go ahead and play this a little bit differently here. I'm going to get in Bulu and start playing a little bit... Well, actually, they can just U-turn here, so there's really no point in predicting. I'll just Horn Leech. Actually, that has to be Specs, so maybe I should have gone Zapdos, yeah. Let's get in Zap here. SD, huh? I mean, I have a Heat Wave coming this thing's way. Yeah, that's not a switch in. This is shown to be Choice Specs. I'm going Bulu this time. I'm not letting my Zapdos take a Choice Specs Thunderbolt or Volt Switch. And damage on that is great for Magearna because it's in range of Thunderbolt under Electric Terrain now. All I need for Magearna is damage on that Ferrothorn, which I need to somehow figure out how that's going to work. Maybe with Scizor I can get that damage. Yeah, so the Volt Switch does come out. I expected that because they really have no business doing anything. So I'm going to go right here for the... I think Zapdos is not a bad play. I'll get in Zap here on the Hurricane. I gotta make a play here. What am I doing? I don't think you risk Ferrothorn because it's a Magearna check. I'm gonna go for Hidden Power Ice. Wow. Okay, well. Let's get in Scizor here. I'm getting all these calls wrong. I misplayed with my Landorus, which, I mean, to be fair, Landorus didn't actually do a ton here. The spike goes up. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna defog this. What's your Rain Abuser? Coco? Specs Thunder? I guess that's it. Okay, well, this next turn, what I'll do right here is just go for a U-turn. Like I said, getting damage on this is very instrumental to my Magearna's win condition, so... Yep, let's U-turn out. Bring in Zapdos here on the spike. And, I mean, based on how they're playing, they're just going to get this play right too, and I'm going to get nothing out of the turn. But I will Heat Wave here. In case they randomly want to give me their best Magearna check. Okay, they have Protect to scout my move. I'm gonna Heat Wave anyway. Garchomp comes in. Maybe I'll burn it. Do not burn, but that damage is good for my Magearna too. Oh, my defogger is Scizor. Okay, I was gonna say, like, where's my defogger? I can defog on this, cool. SD happens, okay. I'll just click defog again. I think this next turn I'll click U-turn. This is winnable. Keldeo can win this game. I see it. Keldeo can win with Hydro Pump on its own. I have to go Keldeo now, though. That's the thing. Gotta somehow put on pressure here. Yeah, I don't know what they're trying... They just gave me damage on the biggest threat to my team. They can protect here for recovery, I guess. I'm just gonna Secret Sword again. I guess they expected a water type attack, but I definitely just got the better out of that turn right there, because look at their Surf Switch-ins now. Yeah, and they just give me the Ferrothorn. So that's beautiful for Magearna and Keldeo. I'm back in this game now, which is really good. Pelipper comes in, as it should. This thing's a problem. It's gonna go for Hurricane here. I don't see the value in Scizor anymore, so I'm going to give them that to the Hurricane. That's definitely specs, right? I did 42% to my Zapdos. Let's calc it. Zapdos against... That's a defensive Zapdos. Let's get rid of that HP investment. Against the Pelipper. Yeah, that's a spec Zapdos. Okay, so I can get him to Magearna here and try to do it now. So let's go ahead and shift gear up. Hard Scizor. Okay, that's not a big deal. I do have... I should actually switch out, shouldn't I? On an SD. Okay, so I don't know if I live +2 Bullet Punch. Maybe they'll Earth it for no reason. I guess in theory I should just Heat Wave in case Zapdos tries to come in. I mean Garchomp. They've already shown they want to give me checks to some of my better win conditions right here, so I'm not going to predict anymore. I couldn't risk Magearna there because I'm going to lose to Pelipper's Hurricane spam in the end. So I'm definitely faster. If they give me this, yeah, they can't give me that Pokemon. So as Landorus comes out, it's not going to take a ton because of the rain, but I burn it, which is cool. Let's get in... I think I just Heat Wave it again. Yeah, it's because they decide to U-turn out, probably into Pelipper, Garchomp, okay. It doesn't take too much due to the sun. The Continental Crush finally comes out. Okay, I'm gonna go Keldeo now and start to do some work here. I don't see actual responses to this Pokemon in particular. So let's go right here for a Surf, as they sack off the burn to Lando. Cool. So now, Pelipper would come in, right? I keep Keldeo for sure, because once I get damage on that Pelipper, I win with it, so... I don't know, do I call the U-turn? I don't think it's worth calling the U-turn. I'm gonna go Magearna. They confuse me, which is gonna be... I already know that's gonna be the difference maker here, because I'm gonna not get the kill this turn, which is what I should be getting right here. Let's click Tinkle Tackle and see what happens. Okay, this is beautiful if I get damage on this, which is really gonna help me out here. So I get 37%, nice. I can go ahead and bring in Keldeo this turn. On the knockoff, my Scarf being gone is a little bit worse, but at the same time, Coco is the only issue. Would Surf in the Rain knock this out? I'm just gonna assume it does. Sacks off the Garchomp, okay. To get in Coco, not a big deal. I can go Tapu Bulu on this Pokemon. On the Volt Switch. So they do have Volt Switch, which is going to actually be very key regarding what's going to happen here. So the rain actually went down, which means I don't think their Hurricane kills. I think here I just Protect. Would they go hard Scizor? If anything, they would U-turn. I can't risk my Keldeo. Do I live a Hurricane from Specs Pelipper? OU... Can I even afford? No, I'm gonna lose to the Coco. I gotta go Magearna and hope I dodge one. Scizor is low. Okay, will they hit 2 Hurricanes in a row outside of rain? They don't risk it, okay. Smart of them to not risk it there. I'm gonna go Keldeo this turn. Man, I got all the calls wrong early game. That's what's gonna cost me this game, and I already know. Let's get in Keldeo here on the Roost. I gotta attempt to hit some Hydros. It should 2-hit KO this thing, no problem, and they don't have a switch in here, so... That'll help me out. Yeah, Pelipper under... offensive Pelipper is not taking 2 Hydro Pumps under rain. That's for sure. And then... They sack Coco off, huh? To get in Pelipper? Okay, actually, I think... I see what they've done here. Maybe. Actually, can I win? Stone Edge, Bulu... Now I gotta keep Keldeo just for that thing. Meaning, I gotta hope Magearna outspeeds this. So I sack off Bulu here. I go Magearna. I switch out into Keldeo on the Scizor. That's what they should do here. There's no way you risk this tie, right? Yeah, so Scizor comes out. Now what I do is I beat this with a couple Surfs. And then it's gonna come down to the speed tie, I think. Pelipper comes in. It is choked. I don't know what they just did right there, but I'll just surf again here. We know this is Specs. This has to be Specs to knock me out. There's still plenty of rain for my Keldeo to win here. I don't know what that play was. He should have gone for the tie against my Magearna, but I knocked that out. Scizor should go down to Surf, if not a Surf into Hydro. Does a lot. This could be bad. Yep, it's bad. I just lost. Unless I crit. Okay, well, they're going for Roost. Well, I'm just gonna go for Surfs until you start to attack me here. SDs is that turn. I gotta go for the Hydro crit here. Doesn't happen. I have another chance. Wow, this Keldeo cannot hit a single Hydro Pump. Let's get out of there. Wow, I'm really surprised they actually switched out into Pelipper. I guess they wanted the rain to go away for this Scizor right here. I definitely saw that. But I don't know, a lot of their other plays just had me confused, and I got all the calls wrong, so it is what it is. I'll get another game. Alright, I got another game right here. Gotta be a little bit careful in this one. It could be Specs Coco. Gonna be lead off here with my Zapdos on Buzzable, which is gonna be really good for my Heat Wave right here. Specs Heat Wave looked super spammable at preview. Hoop on Bound is not the biggest problem. Yeah, that's good damage too. It can't come in later, so here I can just get in my Landorus T on the Psyshock, which doesn't do too much, and get up my rocks this time as Celesteela or Ferrothorn would come out, right? I can just knock off here as they get up their rocks. Okay, so here's where they would go for Leech Seed. I'm going to Earthquake once. They actually don't go for Leech Seed. Interesting. Okay, so they get this in, but I'm going to knock this off. Oh, never mind. I don't get the knock off. That's annoying. Ice Punches. I'll get in Scizor here and just Bullet Punch it down. That did so much damage. I guess they would sub again, right? I'm just going to Defog and get in Zapdos. This is winnable. I can already see it with my Keld. Let's Heat Wave here and knock that out. Cool. Keld looks amazing, especially because they gave me Ferrothorn. I think this turn I'll go Bulu. That's a crit? Okay, that's definitely a crit. Huh. I mean, you can have it. I have superpowers, so this thing is not going to be able to recover. Like, Magearna just wins now, kind of. It's going to depend on the Celesteela, too. Coco probably doesn't knock me out with anything. Yeah. And now I'm out of range of the next one. Oh, they have Brave Bird, okay. Okay, there we go. Zeraora should come out, right? Goes for Thunderbolt. I get a Magearna here. I shift gear up. I go right for a Twinkle Tackle. I have the Electric Terrain up just for this Celesteela here. And I think I might be fine, unless it's Protect. It's not Protect. So I knock that out, and this thing will not be able to take a hit right here. Actually, I might lose. I could definitely... Because Thunderbolt's... Let me just make sure +2 Thunderbolt doesn't kill. From 59. Hoopa's like very spit off. Oh, you shift gear against Hoopa. Unbound. I don't think +2 Thunderbolt's doing it. Yeah, it's not. So I gotta hit a Flare Cannon. As I do, and we're able to go ahead and win that game right there. So, I mean, it looked uphill when I lost 2 Pokemon and was down 4 to 6, but we were able to go ahead and make that work right there. I don't know why they gave me their Ferrothorn. As I said, that was their best Magearna counter, but I'll take it, and I'll be right back with another game. Alright, I got another game right here. My opponent has 2 Shell Smashers and just a ton of priority. Well, not priority, but just a ton of setup right here. It's probably Sash Lead Lando if I really had to guess right here. And when I say I really have to guess, I mean I don't. It's definitely Sash Lead Lando, but they don't lead off with Lando, interestingly. They lead off with Tapu Lele, so I do want my my Scizor here. I think I just go Bulu on this, as they double to Lando. Okay, interesting there. I'm gonna break the Sash here with Hornly. Actually, I should just go Scizor. What am I doing? Scizor. They go for U-turn, interestingly. So I guess maybe Lele comes in. Charizard comes in. So I'm gonna go Landorus on this. Is it Zard X or Y? That's a Belly Drum. That's a Belly Drum. Okay, let's go ahead and rocks up here. Wow, that killed from full. What is this Lando's EV spread? It's definitely defensive. Like, hello? I mean, at the bright side, as long as I hit this Hydro Pump, I'm going to knock this out. Keldeo, this is a very important Hydro Pump here. Let's try to hit it. And maybe we can go ahead and not lose the game to the Zard right now. Okay, we do hit, knock out the Zard. That's very helpful. That was a threat, to say the least. So now Lele can come back in and probably put in a little bit of work here. I'm keeping Zapdos just healthy for the Hawlucha. The problem is if it's Stone Edge, then it can actually knock me out anyway. But I guess I also have Magearna, which probably takes 1. Actually, +2 high jump pick is a reach. I don't think I eat one of those. They kind of have to go Lele here. I don't think anything else reliably comes in. But yeah, I really expected Landorus to take 1 Flame Charge. It's like Flame Charge is not a strong hit, and it's defensive Lando, so that's why I was a little bit confused there. It's also situations like that where I like Rocky Helmet Lando better, because as you saw, I had to rely on hitting Hydro Pump there. Whereas in a normal situation with Rocky Helmet Lando, I could just go ahead and run Surf. But yeah, that's really why I like Rocky Helmet right there. So let's see what they bring in. Probably Lele if I really had to guess here, but they can really bring in anything. My win condition is definitely my Magearna. I think that's why they're keeping that Sash intact on Landorus, perhaps. But every time Landorus comes in, I'm going to go Scizor and defog the hazards away. That's going to be very important. I think they're sad that their Zard didn't 6-0 me. Maybe not. But I've definitely seen this sort of build before with just double Shell Smash and 5 other setup mons. Well, I guess it's 4. Unless it's actually a Rock Polish Lando for all I know. How did that situation come up? I led Bulu. No, I led Keldeo. They led off with Lele. I switched to Bulu because I wasn't really... Yeah, so they finally go Lele, which is what I think they should have done already. I'll go Bulu again. Omastar is not a big threat. I can just Horn Leech it here on the Shell Smash, and... Do I risk Scizor? So I definitely knock it out with Bullet Punch. I'm gonna Horn Leech here. As, yeah, I'm able to... Wow, that thing is bad. No wonder that thing is never used. I mean, it's a good Shell Smash sweeper and probably RU. Yeah, this thing's a threat though. This thing is definitely a problem. I think what I want to do against it is protect just to scout its move. As it decides to go for a Moonblast, which gives me my Scizor here. Hawlucha comes in right now, which I can just U-turn out on into my Specs Zapdos and deal with it. Like I said, if it is actually Stone Edge, this is a problem. But I'll Thunderbolt here and maybe just take it on. Wow, that's a crit. Okay, I was going to say, why did that do so much? So I think it's probably Specs Lele. They just go ahead and forfeit. I'm going to go ahead and end off the live right there. Yeah, Cloyster couldn't beat me even with the Psychic Terrain, just because, I mean, I would just stall out the terrain and then beat it with Bullet Punch. Magearna at this point kind of just won on its own too, so we're able to go ahead and win that. And I did hope you all enjoyed. The team will be down below in the description in case you guys do want to try it out, of course. And I'll see you next time. Later.